Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be making another video about the 600i. I've already talked about it before on this channel, but it's one of my favorite ships, and 3.10's changes to fixed weapons have really helped it as well. Before we get started though, I just wanted to remind all of you that I'm doing a giveaway for a copy of Star Wars Squadrons, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe and comment on the video. More details are in the description. Now let's get started. So I'm going to start this video by talking about the 600i's current role in the game. Since neither exploration or VIP transport are in the game yet, the ship isn't really able to operate in its intended role. However, it's possibly the best ship right now for NPC combat missions if you don't want to have to worry about being taken out ever. Now don't get me wrong, this is not a ship for PvP since any decent pilot will be able to stay out of your sights, but the NPCs don't really do that right now. But yeah, for NPC combat, this ship has exceptional durability and damage output, with the only slight downside of not being that maneuverable. With 3 pilot-controlled size 5 mounts and a large shield, it's a very capable ship. So before 3.10, it was still very good at this job, but you had to give up some of its damage potential because you pretty much had to gimbal its weapon. If you go look back at my video where I was trying out the rental 600i with the stock loadout, I think there's a part in there where it took me like 5 minutes to deal with one M50 because it kept avoiding my shots. Now with the fixed weapon assist though, it's very easy to land shots, especially if you keep your targets at range. The size 5 M7As that are stock on this have a crazy range of like 6,000 meters, and even the CF series repeaters that I switched to for slightly more DPS still hit things at about 5,000 meters. At this range, the slow turning rates of this ship aren't even that noticeable, and a lot of times it'll take out enemies before I see them. So if you're looking for a ship which does what the Constellation is supposed to do, this is it. Oh, and I almost forgot that it has like 16 size 3 missiles, which is a ton for dealing with fighters. And I prefer size 3s for dealing with fighters over the Constellation size 1 and 2s. Also, even though this is a bigger ship than the Constellation, I find it a lot easier to control since the Constellation seems to kind of overshoot where you're aiming it. If you haven't flown a 600i, I'd say it maneuvers a little bit worse than a Freelancer. But yeah, this is a great combat ship, and I would be happy even using its stock loadout with the updates to fixed weapons. The only thing I would highly recommend changing is the quantum drive, since you might as well get a faster drive to save some time. So the other thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the ship's utility and value, and what I think is coming in its eventual interior redesign. So CIG has confirmed that they'll be doing some sort of updates to this ship, but it's more likely than not that they're just going to be an interior layout change and mostly cosmetic. In the last video I made about it, I was a bit more hopeful that CIG would add more functionality to the ship, since as it is right now it's basically a bigger version of the Constellation Aquila, but without the snub fighter. I thought that since it's significantly more expensive than that ship, it would have some sort of additional features, even though it's not supposed to be value oriented as an Origin ship. However, looking back at some of the Q&As CIG did about this ship as it was coming out, it does seem like they want it to be just that, a luxury Aquila. Now like I talked about earlier, this ship is more combat capable than the Constellations, but it just feels odd for it to not even have a snub fighter, while being much larger, and it really doesn't have any features that the Aquila doesn't have. Also, there's a ton of wasted space all over this ship, like this area behind the bridge, and the strange looking crew area. At the very least, the layout needs to be adjusted, since things like the armory are very far away from the elevator that exits the ship, which doesn't make much sense, and the component rooms are accessed by going through the bar area in the back of the ship. So there's definitely space for more features, or even something like more cargo space in this ship. I still have a bit of hope that they would do something more than just rearrange stuff when they take a look at this ship again, but there's definitely no guarantee of that happening. So that brings me to my conclusion and recommendations about this ship. Like I said, this is one of my favorite ships, but I'll only ever own it in game. At its price in real life, unless you're only interested in this ship, you'd be much better off with a more practical option, of which there are many around its price point. Just a few off the top of my head include the Reclaimer, the Hercules, the Hull D, the Endeavor, and even the Merchantman. However, it's been a fun goal for me to try to earn in-game, and I've actually bought 2 of them, so I have 2 now that CIG restored to in-game purchase ships. Also, it's not terrible to rent right now at a bit under 200,000 credits. If you're just looking for something fun to do, you can even put some friends in its turrets, which have dual size 3s, and go have some fun with it. So yeah, as an Origin ship, it's not that practical, but it is a whole lot of fun to have. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Also, be sure to enter in the giveaway if you want to. Thanks for watching.